Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's broadcast of The Grove. I'm so happy you're here and you could join me for some magic, some meditation, and some inspiration. Today, we are going to be covering a little bit more about meditation itself and that place between the thoughts. So if you this is your first time watching, please by all means make yourself comfortable. Feel free to relax. Join us in the chat. Feel free to make comments, and by all means, this is a space for you to kind of find your mindfulness, find your place, find your magic. Anyway, before we get started, well, as we get started, I should say, it is time for our invocation. So, if you would join me, please, in the invocation of the Great Mother. O Great Mother, Lady of the night and the silvery moon, she whom is the darkness and the light that shines through it, hail to thee, great Lady of the moon, and hear us, your children, as we gather together in the sacred circle of light, where we have come to partake of the great beauty, strength, and wisdom that lies within each and every one of us. Blessed be. So, this week, being that we are going to be talking about that place between the thoughts, this all has to do with, well, first of all, I'll get into it more when we start to talk, but I will say that I do believe that our thoughts are what create our life. And our happiness depends on our thoughts and what goes on in that little brain of ours. So, for today's passage from the Book of One, my book, the Book of One, I'm going to be reading chapter 30, which is Thoughts Become Things. There are two forces in constant action in the universe. They, you may call it, the positive and negative force. These forces are fed by and draw upon our actions, words, feelings, and thoughts. The more negative actions, words, feelings, and thoughts you project, the stronger the negative forces become. In return, negativity becomes stronger force in the universe. The more positive actions, words, feelings, and thoughts you project, the stronger the positive force becomes. In return, positive becomes the stronger force in the universe. Remember, these forces feed off everything we do, say, think, and feel. Therefore, we must be aware of all we do, say, and feel. So now it's time for our grounding meditation. If you would like to join me, feel free to close your eyes. You're welcome to contemplate the words that we just heard from the Book of One. So why don't you go ahead and close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just quiet your mind. Breathing in, I am calm. Breathing out, I am in peace. Blessed be. So, if you happen to have kept your eyes open, you'll notice I used an image of a lot of waves. And I use that as an analogy for what we're going to be talking about today. Finding the place between the thoughts. So, why don't we start by asking ourselves, why do we find the place between the thoughts? What are the benefits of finding the place between the thoughts? The place between the thoughts is that singularity. That is where nothing exists, but everything can exist. It is that tiny little space between the thoughts where, well, let me use the analogy of the wave. And the reason why I use the analogy of the wave, each of us has a thought stream, a stream of consciousness, if you'd like to call it that. And constantly throughout our day, most of us are thinking about something. And when we stop thinking about one thing, we automatically begin to think about something else. And if we pause for a moment, we can actually see, just like a wave, we want to observe our thoughts. We can see that just like a wave, that thought begins to grow up out of the void. It begins to crest and it peaks, and then it goes back down into the void. And then there's that moment right before the next wave begins to grow as well. Our mind is doing that probably, 100 times throughout an hour, if not more, during that time. And I have found that while it is the goal for many of us who meditate to be able to sit in that space between the thoughts, that's a big call. That's a huge achievement to be able to sit in that for more than a few moments. Those of us that have been able to sit in it for extended periods of time have reached what you would call nirvana or enlightenment. And then, unfortunately, of course, the thoughts come back in and you start thinking again and feeling and being human, which is why we're here. And there's nothing wrong with that. We talked about last week. We are here to empower the human experience. But just the idea and having the ability to observe the thoughts and to be able to find that space between the thoughts gives you the ability to be mindful in your moment to moment day. Why is mindfulness important? I've gone over it 1,000 times. Please, by all means, Google it if you don't know why mindfulness is important. But in doing so, and being in that void and being in that mindful space, we have the ability to create. That is where creation comes in. That is where proaction comes in versus reaction. So, if anything, for me, the concept and the philosophy of that place between the thoughts reminds me of it reminds me how important it is for me to take the time to ground myself, to ground my thoughts, to relax, to meditate, so that I can be creative in every sense of the word, whether it be artistically, whether it be uh, for the shows that I write every week, whether it be for the next project, whatever it might be. I'm being a creator versus a reactor, versus reacting to the world around me, versus reacting to the thoughts that might be upsetting me or making me happy. We react to happiness too, which is even better. But so you see where I'm going with this. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you an exercise that I do to find that place between the thoughts. We're going to be doing a lot of meditating today. We've done the invocation, we did the minute meditation, and now I'm going to do a meditation to help you visualize what it is, how it feels to be in the space between the thoughts. This is going to lead up to our intention work, our spell work afterward, which the goal will be that you will have the ability to invoke that place between the thoughts, to find that place between the thoughts um, instantaneously. One of the things that I like to point out, especially when we do these visualization exercises or with any of those metaphysical moments that you might have in your life, to always remember them, that you can recall them and evoke them to bring you back into that space, into that headspace, literally. So, why don't you go ahead and if you'd like to join me, please close your eyes and follow along with me. If not, you're more than welcome to just listen and watch. But what I'd like you to do is to close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, feeling your diaphragm or your belly. Pause and exhale. Another example of the place between the thoughts, the pause. Again, taking a deep breath in through your nose, feeling your belly. Pause and exhale. Just allow yourself to return to your regular, natural breathing rhythm. And what I'd like you to do is you to imagine yourself sitting in the third row center of an old movie theater or play theater, whatever theater you'd like to imagine. And see yourself sitting in the seat, feel the armrests on the left and the right of you. And when you look up, you can see the stage. You can see a thick, heavy red velvet curtain with those gold tassels hanging on the side. And you can see that the theater is dark. And then suddenly the curtains begin to pull apart from the center, going out to the left and the right. And you'll notice that on the left of the stage, there's a door. And again, you'll notice to the right of the stage, there is a door. Now, I'd like you to imagine that the left and the right door are opening. And coming in from the left stage is the first act, which is your thought. You can see this first thought moving across the stage and going out the right stage, the right part of the stage. Again, right behind that, another thought comes in and begins to go out the right stage. And again, another one and another one begin to stream across the stage from the left to the right. And you can see them as actors, you can see them as balls of light, whatever it is that your mind conceives it to be. But allow these thoughts to come in from the left side of the stage, continuing to go outside the right side. And just sit with this for just a moment as you observe these thoughts, as you observe these forms entering the left side and going out the right side. And now we're going to close the door on the right. And suddenly the stage gets filled with all of these thoughts and becomes crowded. And the thoughts keep entering from the left side of the stage, filling up the stage, spilling over into the audience, beginning to fill the theater to the point where you're feeling a little cramped. These thoughts are just have nowhere to go. They're just mingling about, more and more coming in from the left. And you close the door to the left of the stage, not allowing another thought in as these thoughts within the theater begin to mingle around. Feeling a little crowded, you decide to open the door to the right and allow them to go out. And see the theater begin to become empty again. See the stage becoming empty again. Until there is nothing left. And you close the door to the right, allowing nothing coming in from the left and nothing needing to go out the right. Sitting in complete silence. You're in the void between the thoughts. Remember the sensation. Remember the feeling. Additionally, what I like to do is I like to place a guard on the left door, the entrance stage left. I usually imagine like a knight, like blocking the door, not letting anything in when I'm doing this work on my own. When I sit in silence, having my guardian not allowing the thoughts to come in and allowing me to sit in this quiet space between the thoughts. Take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes, remembering everything you felt, everything you saw or didn't see. I go into, I guess I can plug something now. I go into this more in depth in my the Awakening Code course. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper into it, you're more than welcome to purchase access to it on bernardhours.com. But I do go a lot deeper into it. So now with that, now that we know how to allow ourselves to be the observer of the thoughts, now that we know how to allow the thoughts to stream out and allow and know how to stop them from coming in, finding that place between the thoughts, let's go ahead and do our weekly spell or intention. And I thought, being that the work that we just did, I thought we could, how should we say, fortify the knowledge and the wisdom that we just experienced. And I'm going to suggest, and you don't have to, but I'm going to suggest that this week's spell mantra be: I have the ability to be in the place between the thoughts. I have the ability to be in the place between the thoughts. Now, by all means, you're welcome to do any intention along with us or spell, that which you would like to bring to your life, harming none. But why don't you go ahead and join me, and we're going to go ahead and close our eyes one more time, taking a deep breath in, short pause, and exhale. And again, taking a deep breath in, short pause, and exhale. So I'd like you to begin repeating in your mind, I have the ability to find the place, to be in the place between the thoughts. I have the ability to be in the place between the thoughts. Just keep repeating that in your mind, but visualize yourself either in that visualization we just did, or visualize yourself even better somewhere in your life, whether it be at home or at work or in the park, but somewhere that's a part of your day-to-day life, and see yourself being able to move your consciousness at will into that space between the thoughts. Wherever you are, whatever is happening, you have the ability to be in the place between the thought. Let's create that thought form, begin to visualize a scenario. See yourself in that scenario, feeling whatever it is you're feeling right before you need or choose to go into the place between the thoughts. And acknowledge how you feel, how it feels to be able to move your consciousness into the place between the thoughts at will. You've done it. You've done it at will. You have the ability to be in the place between the thought. And now feel the gratitude you have that you have this power, this skill. How wonderful it feels to be able to do this, to alter your state of consciousness at will and move to that place between the thoughts. And now I'm going to take a deep breath and do 3 alms. You can, if you'd like to, you can join me, but we're going to do the alms to allow this thought form to leave our presence, rise into the universe. Releasing the thought form. As we do will it, so mote it be. Blessed be. As I was doing the I couldn't help but want to talk about the for just a moment. A great example of the place between the thoughts is also the Alm. The Alm has 4 parts: the the rising crest of the thought; the the crest and peak of the thought; and the thought beginning to go back into the void. And that 4th part is that place between the Om. Silence. Silence. It's everywhere. You can do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me peek over and see if I can say hello to a few of you if you're here. Yes, wonderful. Hello there, Tom on YouTube, and Daryl on YouTube. Good to see you. Thank you. Hi, Lynn on Facebook. Oh, Kelly. Hey, hi. Love you too. So good to see you here. Oh, we got Sugar Venom Doll on YouTube and Burning Spirit Light on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Hi, Jessa on YouTube too. Wonderful. Anyway, so we're coming up to the end, and I just want to remind you that, of course, you know, the Grove is a concept. It's not a website. It's not a show. For me, it's a concept. You are my Grove. I created this idea and do this weekly broadcast and created a special place in my website called The Grove for you guys to be able to get to meet each other, get to know each other. So by all means, head on over to bernardalvarez.com/ I believe Grove. Sign up. You can become a member for free. We've got probably about a couple hundred members there so far. We're just getting going. So the more of you that come, the more people you'll get to know. Of course, all of the Grove episodes are there. All of my old Just Bernard Show episodes are there. my blogs, my appearances at other shows and whatnot. And we also have a forum where you can like hang out and talk about these things, come up with some great topics, and discuss them amongst yourselves. Again, that's the concept. The Grove is a community, and I'm very grateful that you are a part of it. With that said, please, by all means, please share this video. Please share my channel, my pages. And if you have the ability, please become a monthly supporter on Patreon or on YouTube or on Facebook. And I think now Twitter is letting me do it. They made me sign something. I don't know. I think I can do it on Twitter now too. So if you're following me on Twitter, you can become a supporter there as well. Anyway, next week I'm feeling some tarot. All right. So I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do. I would like to talk about the symbolism of the tarot and get a little bit more in depth with magical symbolism in general. So most likely that is what our broadcast and discussion will be next week. So I hope you'll join me. Of course, regular time on Tuesday, where depending on what time zone you're in, but I'm in the East Coast, so I usually say 4 p.m. Eastern time. I gotta learn GMT time, don't I? Anyway, so I want to wish you all a wonderful week ahead. But before we go, let's go ahead and do our closing words, meditation and inspiration, affirmation. Take a deep breath with me. If you'd like to, you can close your eyes. Be gone from me, worry and woe. I have the strength to break free and the wisdom to know. As I breathe in this sacred day, my calm will grow. I call upon my inner guide to help me take it slow. My serenity and tranquility will overflow with harm to none and blessings to all. So mote it be, blessed be. I love you, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to hearing from you. Please uh, watch the archive, get into the comments, and let me know if you have any ideas for future shows, especially if you already are a supporter, because I look to you guys for inspiration. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.